Okay. Ask any question you'd like about rhythm. Anything at all. Christina?
What does that symbol mean, for example, on line number 4? The
Yes.
second symbol is the little sign going down.
Can I look and see? Number 4? Ah, you're talking about the 8th note.
Oh,
The
okay.
second note. Okay, that's a really good question, Christina, and here's how that happens. Again, it's just how you draw it. That little thing trailing off of it is called a flag.
Flag, that is how it looks like.
And it just tells you it's an 8th note. Now here's what's different. If you have 2 8th notes together, side by side, you don't do 2 separate flags. You join them with one line between the 2. Why? Because the 2 together make one beat. So that little hook there is just called a flag.
Okay.
It tells you that it's an 8th note. But 2 8th notes next to each other are joined together by a line, and the line is called, it's a lot of words, isn't it? The line is called beam. B-E-A-M. Beam. Ralph?
Actually, I think on drum music, when you hit the drum, it's a little smaller. It looks like an 8th note, but it really isn't.
Oh, you're talking about in like drum rolls and strokes and so forth?
Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's a different type of notation.
Right.
Yeah. Any other? Yes, Debbie?
Okay, if you have 3/4 time,
Yes.
that means there's 3 beats per measure.
Correct.
So then you have 6/8 time,
Yes.
that's 6 beats per measure.
That's
Why don't
correct.
why don't they just go, 3/4 is half of 6/8. Why do they have the 2 different
Okay.
things?
Answer is this. All of our rhythmic patterns in Western music, you don't have to go too far back in ancient history. Let's go biblical. Let's go even pre-biblical. Okay? What were the first motivations to make music by human beings? Why would they make music? As far as we know, the animals don't make music.
The praise God was the initial motivation.
Let's do praise God, okay? At what point did we use music to praise God? From what year? That's a heavy question. Because the first thing that had to happen was a belief in God before you begin praising God with music. Short answer is this, and this becomes a musicological thing, and that's not what we're supposed to do tonight, but since you asked the question, I want to say it. Our earliest inclinations to make art had to do with our response to the environment, to the world that we lived in. The earliest pictures were of what? The earliest drawings were of what? Animals. Why? Primitive peoples learned that if the animals didn't come back, you would die because you ate the animals. Therefore, the animals became divine, and you drew pictures of them just like we draw pictures in a cathedral. The earliest musical inclinations we have are again a response to the environment, and they are associated with the dance. The idea of moving to the rhythm. So, Western European rhythm, you can even go back as far as J.S. Bach. You'll have pieces called jigs. You ever heard the term a jig? Dance a jig? A jig is a certain rhythm. A waltz is a rhythm. A gavotte is a rhythm. A sarabande. All of these things were dances that people physically danced to. And so the rhythm patterns had to be the same, or people wouldn't know where to put their feet or how to move their bodies. What meter is it?
4.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's designed to support the dance. Okay, how about now? What am I playing? Could be a polka. Latter day Europeans would call it a polka. You're right. That's something that comes out of primarily North and Eastern Europe, a polka. We have those, we use that rhythm in American music. I conducted music from the King and I a few days ago. That's a polka. Jump, jump, jump. What's the meter? What's the meter? Is it 3/4?
No.
It's not 6/8 either. You can't put sixes to it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay? How about this? What beat is this? Let's do a popular song. Are you tapping your foot? Show me how you're tapping your foot. One, two, three, four. And notice the chords all change according to the beat. It's in 4/4 time. Okay? A march. What's this style of music called? What's the rhythm?
Swing.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And syncopation all over the place.
Do one that has 6/8.
6/8?
6/8?
6/8.
6/8. Four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Why couldn't that be just 3? Like 1, 2, 3?
It almost could be. It depends on the speed.
It doesn't have the hard down
And
beat.
it depends. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It depends. That's true. Have any of you all ever sung Messiah before? What is that famous alto aria in Messiah that's in 6/8? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. You feel it's, and not only that, the chords change right at the right spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But Debbie, to answer your question, there is a great similarity between 3/4 and 6/8 in the sound. That's true. In the notation, it looks different, of course. And so a composer has to make a determination how he's going to use rhythm and meter to express his musical ideas.
It's just easier to read.
Yes.
Oh, there's one up there.
You know what I mean? How when you're subdividing.
Ah, yes. Did you just make this one, Andrew?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Here, 3/4 time, we use quarter notes to measure everything, right? Ba. Let's read the first 2 bars. Ready? Go. Good. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This would receive 3. That would receive 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Debbie, they look quite different. Notice everything is grouped in 2s here. Everything is grouped in 3s here. I'm getting a little bit advanced here, but there's a term for that in musical architecture. These are called simple meters. These are called compound meters. Compound meters, everything is grouped into 3s. Simple meters, everything is grouped into 2s. Okay? So, if I were to read this, ba, 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 ba. Now, when you have a meter change in the middle of a composition, a meter change, that gets complicated. Because as a conductor, I've got to go bum, 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 yum, bum, 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 bum. I have to change the whole way I beat the meter because it's a totally different pattern. Is there music that does this? All over the place.
Why don't they just,
All over the place.
why don't they just change the notes in the measure to be easier to
You
read?
know why? The emphasis would come out in the wrong place.
Oh, okay.
The emphasis was all about emphasis. That's why I said the earliest inclinations we have of any musical thought is the dance.
Okay.
And if you study primitive cultures today, in fact, some of them have pretty complicated music. I hate the word primitive because it really doesn't describe their music. The music of Native Americans, immensely complex. And rhythmic vitality, oh my gosh. Incredibly rhythmically vital. The music of the people of the Pacific Islands, tough stuff to count, but they dance to it. They dance to it. Even the music of the Middle East. Listen to real Middle Eastern music sometimes, quite complex. Rhythmically speaking, our music, the music of the Western world, that is Europe and America, tends to be a bit more boxy, tends to be a bit more put into organized structures. It's just the way the Western mind works. I'll leave you with this thought. It's a very interesting experiment that took place. I think it was Stanford University. In art, we talk about different art having different values. Why do we like it? Why is it beautiful? Why is it ugly? Why do we want to hear it again? And it's different reasons for every artistic expression. The experiment was something like this. Researchers from Stanford took some of the music of Mozart into remote parts of Africa to people who had never heard Mozart in their lives. Played the music for them, and interpreters and so forth, and said, this is some of the great music of Western culture. And they stood there listening to it for a while, and then what do you think they did? They walked away. And the researchers were dumbfounded. They said, you all have never heard this music before. Aren't you just amazed by it? All these instruments and orchestra and so forth. And they followed them and said, why did you walk away? You know what they said? It's boring. And they said, this makes absolutely no sense. But it did if you put it in context of pure human thought and response to sound. What they determined in the interviews was it was rhythmically boring. Not that the instruments weren't beautiful, not that the melodies weren't great, not that the harmony wasn't gorgeous. The rhythm was boring. And that's when they made the determination. There seems to be a universality all over the planet that we're all attracted to interesting rhythm. And they found out, yes, it turns out rhythm stimulates the right brain. Truly. My wife runs a Korean drumming group at Fairfax Academy. We talk about interesting rhythms and interesting drum sounds. thing I encourage my students never to do. Never, ever, ever look down on anyone else's music. It's a formula for disaster. Because as soon as you think J.S. Bach is all there is in the world, and I love J.S. Bach more than anybody, suddenly someone comes along and says, Bach, listen to my ragtime. So the best thing to say is, okay, I'll listen to your ragtime. Listen to my jazz. Listen to my Korean drums. Listen to my music of the Pacific Islands. And then come back and listen to Bach again. Listen to the ingenious polyphony in J.S. Bach. And say, wow, it's all good. Okay, well, thanks for coming out, everybody. Sure, sure.
Are we gonna sing to,
Yes.